The teacher I remember most from elementary school was Miss Hare. She was my teacher for kindergarten and second grade. I didn't have a very good elementary school experience, so those were the 2 grades where I have the least bad memories, which is really important. I don't have as many memories of being bullied in those grades as the other ones, which is awesome. She was always really sweet to me. All my other teachers, I don't really have good experiences with all my other teachers from elementary school. I just remember her being really welcoming and kind to everyone in the classroom, and I think that helped me have a better experience overall, even at recess, stuff like that, where kids were nicer, or maybe they weren't, and I just remember how great she was, and it just made it easier to get through the bad things. I think she's the only reason I was able to get through those years. And through maybe the rest of the years that I was there too, until 5th. Because I got to see her in the halls and wave at her. But yeah, no, I remember her a lot. I remember that she did really fun activities. She was always planning things for us. She wanted us to have a fun time. I think that's the only year that I had a good time in science. Because the rest of the years were usually just watching Bill Nye or writing notes. But in hers, I remember doing actual experiments and her trying to have fun with us. I was also in a dual immersion throughout elementary school, so that made it kind of hard to learn things for me because I wasn't really taught Spanish. I was taught in Spanish. So, but she was definitely helpful, and I don't remember a lot from kindergarten and second grade, but I do remember that she was really good at her job and that my mom remembers a lot more than me, and she remembers how much of an impact she had and how in kindergarten and second grade I never faked being sick to get out of school. I always did for the other grades. I was always trying to get out of going, but with hers I never did. And then for Ella 1010, when I took it, I was able to get in contact with her just on Facebook, and I was able to interview her for my little interview assignment, and it was really cool. It was really cool because I got to learn about what her experience was as a teacher, especially because it was such a difficult school and it was very low income, and there was a lot of behaviors in my class, especially. So there was a girl in my class who was the principal's daughter, so that also made things difficult. But I remember just asking her, because she was at that school for a long time. I think she switched at some point recently, but I remember asking her, how did you do it? How do you do that? It's so difficult, and all those kids just test your patience so much, and you still are able to be such a positive person and such a kind person. How are you able to do that? And I remember her just saying that it was hard, but that it was worth it when she was able to make an impact on these kids' lives. Because she knows how much they struggled, and if she could get them to smile, that was all she needed. And I remember that. But yeah, no, she just made a really big impact on my elementary experience, and if it weren't for her, I wouldn't have any good experiences, and I might not want to be a teacher because she's the reason. I mean, it's also because I want to do better than my other teachers did, but she's the good example that I always look at and I'm going to try to be more like her because she was awesome.